video is the third in a three-part series about how to successfully set up and connect a community with the CAPXLV access control system and MyQBusiness. In this part, we'll show you how to install the CAPXLV at the job site. This video is intended for demonstration purposes only. The procedures demonstrated should only be performed by trained professional installers and service technicians. Safe operation and servicing requires that you follow all instructions and safety advisories found in the manual. To locate a trained professional installer or service technician, go to liftmaster.com/locate-a-dealer. As you learned during the site survey and preparation, the CAPXLV installation requires a variety of wires, including power, relay connections, grounding, internet, and accessory cables. When you arrive at the job site, make sure these wires are available and ready for connection. Open the door and lay the CAPXLV face down on a flat surface with the door hanging off the edge. Use the packing material, such as the box it was shipped in. Identify which knockouts need to be removed based on your application. For this installation, we'll punch 4 knockouts for mounting and the center knockout for wiring. Use a small center punch tool and mallet to carefully tap the knockouts. Use pliers to remove the metal knockout tabs. The CAPXLV needs to be securely mounted to a flat surface or pedestal. Use the CAPXLTK trim kit and back box when mounting in a recessed application. Position the unit for mounting, pulling the wiring through the mounting gaskets and then through the knockouts. Secure the CAPXLV to the surface using the appropriate hardware for your application. Stainless steel hardware is recommended. Use of zinc-plated or galvanized hardware is not recommended because of the risk for rusting. Antennas are required for Wi-Fi network connection and Security Plus 2.0 radio remotes and wireless connection to LiftMaster gate operators. If both antennas will be used, these must be a minimum of 8 inches apart. Install the antennas on opposite sides of the CAPXLV. For the radio antenna, remove one of the 3/8 inch knockouts on the side or back of the CAPXLV. Secure the radio antenna cable to the desired knockout on the CAPXLV with the provided washer and nut. Attach the radio antenna to the connector on the secured end of the cable. Then, attach the other end of the cable to the power internet board. For the Wi-Fi antenna, remove one of the 1/4 inch knockouts on the side or back of the CAPXLV. Secure the Wi-Fi antenna cable to the desired knockout on the CAPXLV with the provided washer and nut. Attach the Wi-Fi antenna to the connector on the secured end of the cable. Then, attach the other end of the cable to the control board. If the antennas need to be mounted remotely, 15-foot extension cables are available from LiftMaster. An earth ground rod is strongly recommended and should be no further than 12 feet from the CAPXLV and use a minimum of 12-gauge wire in most cases. Proper grounding protects the CAPXLV from damaging electrical transients. Be sure to check and follow all national and local codes for proper grounding procedures. During your site survey, you confirmed availability of a dedicated 120-volt AC outlet rated for 10 amps. Identify the power wiring leading from the CAPXLV mounting location. Connect to the stripped DC output wires on the power supply. Connect the black wire on the power supply to the negative wire from the CAPXLV and the red wire on the power supply to the positive wire from the CAPXLV. Consult the manual for allowable wire run distances and recommended wire gauge. Remove the power input terminal block from the power Internet board. Connect the power wires to the terminal block, with the positive connecting to the plus terminal and the negative connecting to the minus terminal. Reattach the terminal block to the power Internet board. Plug the power supply into the dedicated outlet after all connections have been made. The CAPXLV will boot into admin mode. Let's get the network connection set up. Tap Network. Tap Change Network Settings. You'll be prompted to select the network type. There are three options: Wi-Fi network, wired network, which configures automatically, manual setup of a wired connection. For wired Ethernet connections, loop the Ethernet cable where the cable enters the CAPXLV. Then snap the ferrite core onto the looped cable. If you're connecting to a wired network for automatic configuration, or DHCP, first plug in the Ethernet cable. Then choose Wired Network and tap Next. Connecting to the network may take a few moments. The network status will show connected. Tap Next. If you want to manually connect to a wired network, first plug in the Ethernet cable. Choose Manual Setup, then tap Next. Fill in the fields for IP address, net mask, gateway, primary DNS, secondary DNS, tertiary DNS. Tap Next. Connecting to the network may take a few moments. The network status will show connected. Tap Next. If you're connecting using the Ethernet cable and the green LED is not lit, make sure the cable is firmly plugged in on both ends of the connection. Make sure that the router or switch is powered up. If the connection still isn't working, troubleshoot this with the assistance of the IT staff for the installation. Next, let's check the camera. On the display, press the Audio-Video button. You will be able to see the live feed from the camera. With the CAPXLV closed, verify the camera angle and image are optimal for your installation. To adjust the camera position, open the CAPXLV and loosen the two mounting screws. Adjust the position and tighten the screws. Then, close the CAPXLV. Next, disconnect all electrical power to the CAPXLV and any powered accessories, such as gate operators and door locks. One CAPXLV can control up to 4 doors. Follow the directions for wiring each door as demonstrated earlier in the video. Connect the gate operator or door lock wires to the primary relay. Most applications use the normally open and common. Remove the terminal block from the primary relay of the desired door. Insert the wires from the gate operator and secure with a small screwdriver. Plug the terminal block back onto the control board. Connect the other end of the cable to the gate operator control board according to the instructions for your application. If using Request to Exit, connect the Request to Exit switch to the Door 1 REX connector. This feature must also be activated in MyQ Business. To monitor the position of the gate or a door using a door status sensor, wire to the status connector. To supervise the monitored connection, you'll need to supply 2 1000 ohm resistors. One will be wired in series and the other in parallel on the side of the gate operator or door. This feature must also be activated in MyQ Business. Some installations will provide a Postal lock to be installed in the CAPXLV. Remove the wing nut and plug and discard them. Remove the 4 mounting nuts from the studs. Secure the Postal lock using the 4 nuts. Cut the factory-installed wire tie from the Postal lock switch. The Postal lock switch is wired from the factory. restore power to the CAPXLV and gate operator. If you choose to, instead of wiring the CAPXLV to a gate operator, a wireless connection can be established. One CAPXLV can control up to 8 LiftMaster gate operators wirelessly. If using a primary-secondary operator configuration, you can only program the primary operator to the CAPXLV. You should still be in admin mode. On the CAPXLV display, select the Outputs tab, then select the desired door number. Press and release the Learn button on the primary operator. The green transmitter LED will light. Press and release the Learn button again on the primary operator. The yellow network LED will light. The operator will time out of programming mode after 180 seconds. Return to the CAPXLV and tap the Learn button on the display that corresponds to the primary or auxiliary relay. The Learn button text will change to Unlearn. The gate operator will beep and exit Learn mode if successful. Confirm everything is working by tapping Test Relay on the CAPXLV display. The gate operator will open. To exit admin mode, flip dip switch number 1 to the off position on the CAPXLV power internet board. It's time to test the setup. Tap Phone Call and select your name. Answer the phone and confirm two-way audio. Also test credentials and entry codes. Once you've confirmed everything is working, don't forget to delete your test information from the facility. The installation is complete. Be sure to set aside time to help the community manager to get up and running. For more detailed information, including wiring diagrams, please refer to the CAPXLV installation manual or visit partner.liftmaster.com.